After watching all these videos of people working on their own car, I wanted to get in on the action, so I bought a few parts for the Pilot here, and I began disassembling it. It's looking quite open. Let's get you down here. The main thing I'm after is the oil pan gasket, and then the oil pump is the gaskets behind it are leaking. So everything's got to go, including the timing belt, which I will be replacing. But it leaks really bad and gets onto the exhaust pipe. So it smells just horrific when you're done driving. So I'm gonna try and see if I can get it fixed. The hardest part is gonna be breaking this bolt loose, the crank bolt, but I have a special socket, and I've got my trusty IR2131, and hopefully that should help break it loose. If not, I just picked up some new breaker bars and a thick steel bar. So hopefully I can break it loose one way or another, because the whole project might get stuck on this. Hopefully not, but we'll see. So here we have the moment of truth, whether it'll break free or not. What do you know? The hardest part of the job, broken with a small 20-gallon compressor and Irwin IR2131. So I don't know what kind of evil engineers decided to design this car, but if you're dropping the exhaust, there's that plug right, let's see, right over here that you have to disconnect, and there's a plug. This one you have to pull off of this metal thing that there's absolutely no way you can get to from the top, from the bottom. This clip will not disconnect. So, I mean, this is for the oxygen sensor. So, let's hope it never goes out, because I've spent 2 hours just trying to take this clip off. I'm half considering cutting it out, because there's no way to get in there. It doesn't unclip, nothing. It's stuck. And I haven't even gotten to the other oxygen sensor to drop the whole pipes off to get to the oil pan. I mean, this is turning into a huge nightmare, more so than anything, but timing belt's up there, and you probably can't see, but there's stuff leaking. It's running down the oil pan. Yeah, I tell ya, just pay someone. Pay a professional to do this, so you can sit there, eat their cookies and coffee, and let them be. So this is the end of day one. It's 5 o'clock. I'm calling it the end of day one because I've had enough, and I think I'll start breaking stuff if it keeps going wrong. Ran into some issues, had to break a few connectors off to get the muffler off. Have the oil pan off. To get the oil pan, I had to take the pickup tube off. As the oil pan's dangling down. Transmission is supported by the jack here. Right now, that looks like the timing marks are off, and I need to take the what do you call it? The cam, or the crankshaft cover, or oil pump. My bad. The oil pump, which you can see that oil pump has to come off to get some of the threads fixed, and to get resealed because the seals are old. But the timing looks like it's off, especially on this cam. This cam looks right. I've twisted it. No matter which way you twist, it still appears off. I might either wing it, or I don't know. I guess we'll see when we get there. Okay, so it's day 2. I quit fairly early yesterday. Got the timing belt off. I think it's timed right before I took it off. The belt has a little bit of wear. There's apparently only 20,000 miles on it, but the tensioner looks like it's seen better days. There's supposed to be a seal here. There's no seal, and it's leaking hydraulic fluid from the looks of it, so that had to come out. I got the oil pump out. It was a pain to get to, but it's finally out. Time to change all the seals, make my own gasket, maybe clean it up a little bit before I put that back, the oil pan back, and then start replacing some of the timing components, like the tensioner. I have the idler pulley that I took off. I'm going to replace some of those, and then hopefully put the timing belt on today before I tap out. I also have some issues I have to resolve, like a timing cover has a broken piece that's still in the motor right there at the worst possible place to get to, and I broke the oil dipstick, so that will need to be replaced. I ordered the part. I don't know if I'm gonna get that far, because I don't want to assemble everything and then put the dipstick in last. It's a really hard and annoying place to get into, so I'm gonna see how far I get before putting it all back together. So the entire reason this oil pump had to come off was this bolt hole right here. It's supposed to have threads in it. These two, the one on the left and the one on the bottom here, have threads. This one is just a straight plain hole, not a thread to be seen. And this part, the oil filter adapter, is supposed to bolt up to there. But when there's no threads, you can't exactly bolt up to it. So I'll be repairing it with this Healy coil to give it some threads, and hopefully I don't make it worse, but hopefully after that it should be able to have some threads where it can thread into this thing, and then have no more oil leaking from there, because this gasket was bad, and then the gasket that goes right here was completely bad and gone and ripped. So after this, I don't expect we're gonna have any more oil leaking onto the exhaust pipes. Well, I drilled the hole. I put the Chinese helicoil in here, twisted it in, and I went to break off that tang, and oh, hello. Welcome to the other side. Yeah, so the hole is drilled out one size bigger, and the thing is broke. I mean, it's in there, but I don't know how you're supposed to break this part off if it does this whole thing. And I tapped it really good, so yeah, I think the threads are just, this whole kit is garbage. Well, for 20 bucks can't expect much, so gotta figure out what to do next. So I was wrong, and I hate being wrong. That wasn't the issue. The issue was that this hole is stripped. You know, the one where the tap's sticking out of? Yeah, that's the hole in the aluminum block that's stripped. But on the bright side, I'm making significant progress. I was able to sideways drill the hole in, and we're somewhat making progress tapping it. I don't know if the whole thread's gonna get in there, but one way or another it has to. So I've made quite a bit of progress. It's around 4:30 right now. Yeah, exactly 4:30. And I'm packing up for the day. New water pump is in. New drive belt tensioner idler is in. Along with the oil pan, the oil pump, the exhaust that was taken out. Yeah, so all I have, maybe on Monday, or if I decide to work on the car this weekend, new gaskets for the VTEC solenoid. Probably the same oil filter because I'll do an oil change because after I sealed everything up, I didn't put the VTEC solenoid back in, and when I took off the water pump, some coolant got into the oil pan, so I might just buy some cheap oil, or if I have some on here, I'll just mix a concoction up just to let it idle for 5-10 minutes and then change it out with some synthetic. And then I got the serpentine belt tensioner that's still, I have a new one that needs to go on as well as a new tensioner when I put on the new belt. So we're getting really close, closer than I thought I'd be when I started this project. So hopefully all goes well when I keep working on this. So unfortunately on day 3, the GoPro battery died, but I put these plastic covers on, put the timing belt on underneath it, put the motor mount back on. I have a new pulley on there, put the VTEC solenoid back up. I haven't filled it up with oil yet because I'm still waiting for that oil dipstick, which they told me should be here on Saturday, and I think I've waited a few days now for it to come, but it's a Thursday and it comes Saturday, and I ordered it last Friday, so it'll be here hopefully, and then I can put that one bolt in, put the motor mount in, fill it with oil, coolant, and then start it, hopefully. So today is work day number 4, and I forgot to record it before I started working on it, but I put in this ATF filter, the automatic transmission fluid filter on the Ford Pilot. It's there. It took a while to get in there. I did a tutorial. You can find it on the channel here eventually. Put the battery back, and that about sums up the activities for the day. It was just really cold out, so I didn't want to do too much. Today is work day number 5. So today I'll be replacing the EGR valve gasket, the throttle body gasket, cleaning the EGR valve, or not the EGR, well yeah, I'll be cleaning the EGR, but I'll be also cleaning the intake idle control valve, IDAC valve. I'll be cleaning that since everything's off. I have new gasket for the throttle body, new gasket for the EGR. I have a new the new airbox piece that this will be replacing because that one has holes in it and is brittle. Still, the oil pickup, or the oil dipstick tube, has not come, so after this it's pretty much all done and just waiting on that dipstick, so I might as well fill the coolant, maybe drain the oil, see if there's anything in there, fill it with whatever oil I got just laying around the garage, and then let it run for a few minutes, and then just drain it out, refill it, because I think I have some coolant in the oil, so I want to flush all that out before I put good oil in there and make sure nothing's leaking and nothing's burning and car's still not on fire. So that's all I gotta get done. Day 5, I think this is. Day 5's come to a close. Put in this new pipe here. It's a little hard to put on, but it's on. When I had the throttle body off, I cleaned the what is it? ICA, the idle air control valve. I cleaned that. It didn't need to be cleaned, but I cleaned it anyways. Cleaned the EGR and put new gasket on there. Hard to get to, hard to take off. Took like 10 minutes, but the gasket was stuck, so I had to hit it a little. Replaced the gasket, cleaned the old one, bolted it down. Hopefully it should work now. It wasn't even that dirty, so oh well. New throttle body gasket, the old one was pretty much destroyed. And that's pretty much it. I did just run some cheap oil I had laying around, whatever this was. Ran the oil through to flush whatever was in there out. I think it's flushed, so it should be ready for when that oil pipe comes in. Then I can bolt that on. I got a list of things I gotta do. Put oil in, put coolant in, power steering fluid, gotta re-bleed that out since I disconnected the hose, and then tighten up any and all loose bolts that are under the car. And then put the wheels on, go for a drive, hopefully, if it starts, if I didn't screw up the timing belt. But that's an adventure for next time. So there's nothing else left to do until that pipe comes in. So it's just a waiting game of when will we be able to work on it again. So it's been about right at 2 weeks that I've been waiting for this oil dipstick. And they didn't even include an O-ring like they should have, because it showed in the diagram that the O-ring was included, but I bought an extra way before just to be sure. So everything that was waiting on this dipstick can now go in, and the car should be hopefully put back together today after about 2 weeks of sitting in the garage. So here we go, I guess. I've got everything put back, power steering pump, oil dipstick tube, motor mount, everything except this top cover. Just put oil into it, some coolant, and it will be the first start right now. So let's hope nothing blows up, but if it does, unfortunately I'll have captured it on video. So here we go. I'm a little bit nervous, but you never know. She started. Nothing blew up, no check engine light, so we good to go.